I decided to join the Man Whore Podcast Patreon just a couple years after listening to the show pretty regularly. At that point, I had talked with Billy a handful of times, and I knew just based on those few conversations that this is someone I really wanted to support pretty immediately. And I did that in the best way I knew how. I became a Patreon member. Since joining the Patreon, all of the perks associated have been so incredible. Not only are we put into groups with like-minded people, which by itself is so refreshing and so wonderful, but we're also put into positions to learn so much about sex work and other things that Billy is passionate about. That was something I really, really enjoyed when I first joined. Now, having these communities with like-minded people, I feel way less alone. I feel like I am in a community of people who really get me for the first time. I'm able to share my thoughts and feelings and some pretty sexy photos too. Billy, I'm so proud of you for this wonderful community that you've created, and I'm so proud to be part of it. Thank you for making women and everyone feel so comfortable in your space and making it our space too.
Welcome to the Man Whore Podcast.
Shout out to everyone quarantined with people you did not plan on being quarantined with. This is Billy Procida, and you are listening to the Man Whore Podcast. Hey, everyone, how you doing? Welcome to the Sex Positive Podcast, hosted by a comedian that's not a comedy show. This week on the pod, I've got on porn star Brooklyn Chase, and we're going to hear more from her in a little bit. But first, look, I told y'all ages ago to get the at-home, easy-to-install bidet attachment from HelloTushy.com. This is not an ad. I told you go get it. All right, folks. I told you you're going to need less toilet paper in your life. I told you it felt like a continuous rim job. And yet, many of you did not listen to me. Now, the promo code MANWHORE is still valid at HelloTushy.com, but HelloTushy.com seems to maybe be out of bidets at the moment, and they're only accepting pre-orders. So those of you who are rushing for toilet paper realize, oh yeah, let's go get the bidet thing. Well, you're a little late. Although you can still order a pre-order right now, get a discount, promo code MANWHORE at HelloTushy.com. I'm just saying, when Billy says to go grab something, you should go grab it. That's just what I'm trying to tell you here. I'm hanging in, people. I hope you are too. I am in fairly good spirits at the moment. I am quarantined in Jersey City with my lovely girlfriend, Megan. You want to say hello?
Hi.
Yes, hi. Some of y'all know her on Instagram as at Miss Giggles with 3 G's.
3 G's.
We're also somewhat quarantined with my Metamore, your other boyfriend.
We are.
Yes, who's not here right now. And we also have a couple dogs that you're watching.
We're currently surrounded by 2 dogs.
Please forgive
on my
any barks.
Spare bedroom.
Yeah. Please forgive any barks you hear. We're doing our best, but Bruce is a fucking asshole.
Hey, don't talk shit about my dogs.
You did it too, so
Hey.
I'm just repeating you.
Bruce is a lovely dog who's now sniffing me in an inappropriate place.
Yeah.
So, we're podcasting under different kind of conditions at this point. Oh my God.
Stop
Bruce.
trying to go down on my girlfriend, Bruce. But,
trying to show you.
Yeah, well, I wanted to introduce people to you. I felt like this is a fun place to do it because we've been doing a little bit of
A what? Corona cast.
Yeah, we do a little Corona casting because since it seems like we will be here for a while, it seems like for at least a couple weeks. I might be going twice a week. I think I'm going to be bringing you some extra episodes for free on the feed just because I have so much more time on my hands. So, the podcast's not going away. Luckily, I banked a ton of episodes while I was on that road trip. So I am good on shows for a good long while. You having fun doing the Corona casts? You can say no.
I am having fun. I mean, I don't know. It's a new thing for me. I'm not inherently used to talking on the mic. I mean, I've done some public I don't even know how to describe it. Oh, right. I need to hold it closer. Like I'm kind of giving a blowy, but not.
I mean, it's just such an original joke. It's fine.
Wow.
It's okay. We all have to compare
Billy
a
just
microphone to a
just
penis at some
judging
point
me.
in our careers. You've gotten yours out of the way, so that's great.
I got it in first shot.
So I don't know, folks. Tune in for those. Those will be fun. Probably a little shorter than usual, but whatever. It's a time to make content. Because what else am I gonna do? Literally, part of my job involves gatherings of people, and those comedy shows have been canceled. So is
Oh,
what
honey.
it is. But I don't know. We seem to be in good spirits, high spirits. I hope you are too. I do want to say this. I am planning, because it does look like we will all be indoors for a good chunk of time. So we're going to be doing a variety of things I'm going to be offering. I think that it's going to be starting tomorrow, Thursday. Some of the events we'll definitely be doing as a group. We'll be having like a live watch party, audio orgasm swaps. We'll play some Never Have I Ever on like a video chat. So we're going to be doing some fun things. That's going to be mostly for my Patreon members. And you can become a member at patreon.com/manhorrorpodcast for just $2. You get access to a fabulous community of people. And I think community is a really important thing to hold on to in these potentially lonely times.
Also, I'm really excited for the Skillshare possibility because I'd really like to learn how to knit.
I know how to knit. I can teach you.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're so helpful.
I do that from time to time. Also, if you're looking for extra content, we've got nearly 200 bonus episodes available for all my $5 and up members. So there's a whole lot going on over there between extra content and just extra connections with like-minded people. And that's a good time to do the fan horror appreciation moment. Okay. I just want to give a shout out to some of those.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, Megan's a patron. It's very uncomfortable when your girlfriend joins your Patreon, because then you know that if you break up, that's a pledge that you lose, most likely.
Depends how we break up.
Oh, okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Well, this is the moment where I want to just shout out a few special people from the community. I want to say what up to Finn West, whose beard versus no beard is such a huge disparity.
Ooh, he's a hottie too.
Oh, you remember Finn from the group, from the Peep Show?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. He's a hottie. Thanks, buddy, for being a member. Shout out to Michael McCoskey. Your LA lockdown. I just don't know what y'all are going to do without kombuchas every day.
Kombucha.
So I'm wishing you luck, all you LA whores. But I'm glad that you're part of the team. I want to give a big shout out to Viva Joy, who's out in Hawaii.
Yes, mutual fan of ours.
Oh yeah, she likes
Yeah.
us both.
So sweet.
Yeah, well, she seems to be showing us enough thirst traps in the Peep Show to
Keep us occupied.
She is keeping us occupied with that. We're glad that she's a part. And then I want to say thank you to Megan White. Thanks for all the Grand Rapids, Michigan recommendations. Much appreciated. And again, you can join up at patreon.com/manhorrorpodcast. That's Patreon, patreon.com/manhorrorpodcast. I'm extra appreciative of all of you, not just for the dollars, but for the community I get to lean upon. I get to basically have like 200 plus friends during a quarantine online, which is kind of cool.
And I love having an outlet to share my nudes and then also get like really insightful and polite responses from almost strangers that feel like friends.
It's a great place for nudes, gifts, and compliments. I'm a big fan of it. And again, all Patreon members, stay tuned. Tomorrow, we're going to start having some scheduled group activities online. Let's stay connected. Just because we're losing some of our freedoms for a moment doesn't mean we need to lose our humanity.
Ooh.
Okay. Well, Megan, if people want to go follow you and see the other perspective of our Instagram storied lives, they can go check you
Our
out.
very social media based sometimes.
Yeah, at Miss Giggles with 3 G's in the middle.
3 G's, baby.
There we go. All right, thanks, baby. Why don't you say goodbye to everybody?
Bye, everyone.
Check out Corona Cast.
Corona Cast.
Do you need some sort of like fun, silly online activity to do that, is open to anyone? We're actually in the middle of the Man Whore March Madness tournament, which honestly is should be considered one of the best remaining March Madness tournaments on the internet. We are trying to figure out what is the best man horror podcast episode, and we're almost finished with our first round. That voting has been taking place on my Instagram story. And the second round will also take place on my Instagram story. So go follow at Billy is Presida. If you want to let your voice be heard, we're dropping about like 2 to 4 matchups per day over there. Some huge upsets, not for nothing. Some big upsets. And you can follow me on social media to keep up to date with the bracket. We'll be doing different rounds of voting. Will happen on different social media platforms. So make sure you're following me kind of everywhere so you can tune in at every stage of the game. All right, folks, before I get to Brooklyn Chase, I do want to address something here. And I posted this on the Man Horror Podcast Facebook fan page on March 14th. And this will just go to show how much things are changing. You know, things are different even since I wrote this. But a lot has changed since I announced the dates for Man Horror Con back in February. A lot has changed since last week's episode. And like I just said, a lot has changed since I wrote this thing 3 days ago. I want to give you all a brief update. I'm a bit torn right now with regards to Man Horror Con. Social distancing right now is, and possibly longer than that, as we're seeing, is going to be so crucial to preventing the catastrophic spread of the coronavirus. And I also know that this is going to pass. We just don't really know when yet. And you're seeing a wide range of estimates, and we're really just not going to know until we all stay the fuck home for a couple weeks. But here's another thing that I know is that people need a decent amount of lead time to arrange a New York City getaway for something like Man Horror Con. You know, past surveys have told me that out-of-towners need about 4 to 6 months between, you know, saving up money, getting the right flights, arranging paid time off of work, things like that. I also don't want to cancel an event prematurely as the event is over 5 months away. And there's seemingly endless numbers of theories of how this all plays out. So I don't want to postpone it unnecessarily if everything clears up in time, or if things don't clear up by, you know, the next announced weekend, right? I don't want to push it back and then it turns out we have to go back even further. Here's another thing. I love how enthusiastic people still seem to be for Man Horror Con. Like even after COVID-19 began spreading across the country and the world, like in the Peep Show, multiple people are looking to take advantage of like discounted plane tickets because apparently like the flights are stupid cheap right now. So people are like, "Ooh, I want to get my flight now for August." I've had people ask me for the ticket link to get weekend passes, even though they're not on sale until April 3rd. So it seems like people still want to come have a dope time in New York City with yours truly, should they be allowed to. So what do I do? What do we do? Here's my plan is I'm going to continue planning Man Horror Con 2020 pretty much as I normally would. Weekend passes as of right now will still go on sale April 3rd at noon Eastern time. I will offer a much more liberal refund policy than in previous years. And if things have not improved by the summer, you know, I promise I will make the responsible but difficult decision of what needs to be done when we get there. And I'm still going to promote this exciting weekend gathering of like-minded horrorheads. I'm still going to brainstorm fun events for us to do. I'm still going to look into venues and book a great live podcast. So again, weekend passes will still go on sale April 3rd, and they will have tiered availability. We're going to have like one weekend pass available for $20.20, right? A couple will be available for $50, and many others for slightly more, going all the way up to full price passes at $150. So if you're considering Man Horror Con as a part of your post-coronavirus plans, I would still encourage you to get your pass when they go on sale. Full refunds will be available should the weekend be canceled, you get sick, or the situation improve enough that, you know, modestly sized gatherings like ours, you know, have to make individualized comfort decisions. So Man Horror Con, you know, look, it's my favorite weekend of the year. It's so dope. I had so much fun connecting with listeners, you know, in person. It's become an annual event that ends in the happiest of my tears. It's way too early to cancel it, and people still seem optimistic that we'll be ready to go by late August. So I'm going to join in that optimism and move forward as usual during unusual times. As a reminder, Man Horror Con is August 20th to 23rd. I love you all. Please don't go to crowded places for the time being. Wash your damn hands. Stay home if you're not feeling well. And let's get past this. Let's stay calm. And let's get back to staying slutty. Okay. But yeah, let's go have a little chat with the porn star, Brooklyn Chase.
I have a friend that's out here right now. It was their first time on a plane ever today to fly here to Vegas.
To walk you down the red carpet?
To come to AVN. And then I was like, because when my publicist booked my ticket, she booked a red carpet pass for my husband. Mm-hmm. My husband would never, he doesn't like me that much. He would never walk the red carpet.
Why is that? Is he camera shy?
No, he just doesn't like me. Like, he's very unenthralled with Brooklyn Chase. Like,
okay.
She's just not that cool.
So when you say he doesn't like me, he doesn't like Brooklyn. He likes you.
Yeah, like, he likes me just fine.
He likes you without all the
he doesn't like me enough to put up with a red carpet for Brooklyn.
Oh.
Like, he's like, yeah, no, I'll see you when you're done.
Oh.
But no, he's great. He's amazing.
Did he stay home or did he come out with you?
He comes out every year.
Okay.
And we do our thing at night, and we always have friends that come out too. Every year it's someone different. Different groups of different people come out with us. This year there's like 7 of us.
Yeah, quite the crew.
I had
the posse?
I had the crew leaving. There's another one that. Wait, is there? No, that was all.
You have multiple crews?
No, there's so.
Because I was gonna say I struggle to name 3 friends.
Yeah,
that I don't sleep with.
Oh no, no, and then we have I have another like little Vegas crew that's here that I hang out with when I'm here. So like they all will meet each other tomorrow night. So that's kind of exciting.
All right.
But yeah, so my girlfriend that came out, never been on a plane before, but she's super into like what I do, and she has her an Instagram with a stage name, and she's kind of like very interested in it.
Okay.
So I figured she would have fun walking the red carpet.
She's also a performer?
She is not.
Oh.
She lives back home in Western Pennsylvania.
You're from Western Pennsylvania?
I'm from San Diego, but I live in Western Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. I almost died coming. I drove out here because I'm doing a little road trip after this.
Yeah.
And Saturday that we had that blizzard, and I could tell I should not have been driving because no one else was driving on 80. And then it got so bad they actually took us all off 80 and they closed down the freeway. But I was like, no, I have to get to this gig and do 25 minutes in a bar. I have to risk my life for this 25.
Yeah. When I first moved there, I've been there about 4.5 years.
Okay.
When I first moved there, I remember pulling up to a doctor's appointment and the doctor being like, I can't believe you came. Everyone else is canceled today. And I was like, oh my God, was I not supposed to be driving? No one told me this. No one told me I wasn't supposed to leave the house. Like, I thought I was just...
Growing up in San Diego, I imagine you don't realize how dangerous that snow stuff is.
Right. I just thought everybody was, I don't know, cozy. I didn't know, like, that I shouldn't have been on the road.
Right.
So now my husband makes sure to be like, do not drive today. I'm like, oh, okay, sure.
I assume then he's from the area and knows such perils.
Yeah.
Wait, so then how long have you been in the industry again?
7.5 years.
So how do you find what's like kind of the logistics of living in somewhere like Western PA and there's not as much industry there?
No, but before that I lived in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from San Diego. So I would drive back and forth to LA. Uh-huh. So at that, 3.5, 4, 5 hours each direction on top of a 6, 7, 8, 9 hour shoot, I would only do that 2, maybe 3 times a week. So now what I do is I fly to LA for 7 to 10 days. I shoot every single day, and then I go home for a month or 2.
Oh.
So I'm essentially shooting the exact same amount. I'm just condensing it into one trip instead of, 2 days this week, 3 days this week, 1 day this week.
I come here, I'll get 10 episodes. You kind of do the same, but like maybe like just more anal involved. Like
exactly.
Kind of like that.
Yes. Yeah. So then I get to go home, and I'm home. I might feature dance or something for a night or 2, but I get to be home for 4, 5, 6 weeks.
I mean, the thing is, I know the answer to this question, but it's like, what do you do with all that time then?
Well, I nap a lot. I do nap a lot. No, I have gotten super into my OnlyFans.
Okay.
Like, I'm like, I like get sad when I'm not talking to people. You know, when I'm like today I'm on the show floor and I'm like, I wonder what all these people are doing. You know, I wonder what they're doing.
What's
today.
that username doing?
Yeah, you know, I wonder what he's up to.
These people seem nice, but none of them are that avatar that
yeah,
I see
you
every
know,
day.
like, but I talk so much to my fans on there that I like feel like I know them. So I get sad when I'm like, I don't get to chat with all my friends today.
Isn't it such a weird feeling though to know that like even though when you'll there are fans like one can connect with a little bit digitally, but they kind of tend to know so much more about you or at least about a persona.
Yeah.
So much more than you meet in person. Like if I meet a listener in person, it's almost a relief because then I don't have to talk much.
Yeah.
I just ask questions because they already know all the things about me.
Right.
Like now I can learn something about a stranger.
Yes. So I have I had put a pair of shoes on my Amazon wish list, and I usually wear a 7, but they said they ran small, so 7.5 was sold out, so I ordered an 8.
Okay.
Someone on my Twitter tweeted me and was like, "Why are these on your wish list? That's not your shoe size."
Like, at what point does it start like being creepy? At what point is it kind of like sweet? It's like there are people in this country who are like, my boyfriend doesn't know my shoe size.
Exactly. I'm sure my husband doesn't. Like half the time I ask him what my birthday is, he doesn't know.
Okay.
He doesn't know my shoe size.
Oh, no.
Like, you know, but yeah, I got a tweet that was like, why are those size on your wish list? That's not your shoe size. I was like, no, I know, thank you. Like, but I mean, it's like a fine line between being sweet and being creepy. I feel like, you know, and I don't think that fan is creepy because I know him, you know.
Right? No, we know he's listening to this.
No, I know. We've talked for years and years and years. But it's just an example of like, oh, okay.
Well, what are some ways someone coming to the A or Exotica or something? What are ways people can stay on the right side of that line?
I just think when it gets too personal, then it's weird like that. Like I had somebody tell me happy anniversary one year. And I'm like, I do not ever in my life recall saying when my anniversary was. But okay. Like that's a little too personal. Being like, that's not your shoe size. It's a little too personal. You know, if you want to know everything about my work, and everything about like there's people that are like, oh, my favorite scene of you is this scene with this guy in this outfit. Like that's very flattering to me. Like I'm like, thank you so much. That you enjoyed it that much. But when they're like, I don't know, something super, how's your neighbor? So is your
dog okay? Are they going to pull through with that surgery?
Oh my God, it's so weird you said that.
I swear I have not looked.
I so weird. So somebody asked me today how one of my dogs were. And they said something about, what did they say? But it was something very similar to that because my dog just had some health issues. And I was like, oh, okay, well.
But you almost have to realize what have I said on it? Because when I hit off, as soon as I'm done editing, I put it out there. I don't know what the fuck I said. I don't remember. Someone will be like, oh, this, that, and the other thing. And then I'll be like, if you say I said it, I believe you. Please don't make me listen to 90 minutes of myself again to find out.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm usually pretty cautious about what I say. So sometimes I'm like, I really don't think I would have said that. Was I drunk? Was I was I drunk tweeting? I don't remember.
Well, drunk tweeting, that'll get me in trouble.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think you just don't make it too personal.
Yeah.
That's when it becomes weird.
It's so interesting how what you find to be too intimate for someone to know about is kind of in the reverse of what your everyday person would be. Like most people would be think that's innocuous information, but to know what you're like during intimate sexual acts is too much. And for you, totally reversed. You're like, no, I totally don't mind if you know exactly what my labia looks like.
Right.
But if you wish me happy anniversary and I don't remember tweeting that, it's going to freak me out.
Right. What weirds me out is when people ask how much money I make.
Well, that's just, is that the question?
I get that question a lot.
Okay.
When? Earlier?
No, 30 minutes ago.
No, that was some douchey weirdo guy.
Okay, back to douchey weirdo guy in a second.
Yeah.
But like, who asks how much money? That's never in any profession
I ask
appropriate.
all the time. So how much money do you make in a year? How much money do you make per scene? How does this work? And I'm like, listen, I know that you watch me do a 12-man gangbang. Cool. Don't ask me how much money I make. That's so personal. Like, you want my social security number too? Like, what is that? What is up with that?
And you literally don't ask you're not supposed to ask anyone. I don't know. I was raised not to ask questions about money.
So personal, I feel like.
Yeah.
For even like I don't know how much my parents make. I don't know how much my friends make. I don't know any of that. Like, it's just way personal to me. But, you know, before you got here, when I had this whole group of people in here, I was like, I think for my OnlyFans, I'm going to take like a photo set of me stripping out of my AVN outfit. And they were like, okay, cool. And they all just like lounged, you know.
While you did it?
No, I didn't do it. I'm still in my outfit.
Oh.
You know what I mean? But it's like,
Well, clothes can be put back on.
oh no, I'm not going to put this back on for no reason. But now I don't remember how I got there.
You were talking about like people asking, you know, how much.
Oh
you make.
yeah, I'm cool with like that. You know what I mean? And I was like, you know, everyone's gonna sit here and watch me strip, but don't ask me how much money I made today.
Right.
Like, that's so weird.
So weird. So wait, so I'm on my way up here, and I know I was just checking your Twitter, and then the most recent tweet was like some weird douchey guy asking weird douchey question. Please tell me, can you spill any tea?
So I kind of was like, it's kind of fuzzy.
Okay.
Because I know, like, he, like my friends had just gotten here, so I was, like, kind of trying to, like, eavesdrop on what they were saying. So I was, like, half listening to what he was saying. But I know when he asked me...
This was an interviewer, or...
So he said he was making a documentary about love and relationships in the sex industry. And I was like, this is great, because I have, like, a model relationship, I feel like, you know, for like the weird situation that we're in. Like, I hit the jackpot of a husband. He's not in the industry. Like, I'm like, I have all kinds of insight into this. And then he's asked something about like, why do women think it's okay to let themselves go after they get married? And I was like, I don't think that women do. I said, you know, but everyone gets comfortable. And then he goes, well, what's the difference between someone being comfortable and someone just being lazy? And I was like, I don't think I want to talk to you anymore. Yeah. And I was like, you're not a very nice person. And he like handed him the microphone back, and he was like, okay. And I was like, what is he going to make some like nasty like reel of me now?
Well, no, he's going to think it's nasty, and he's going to show his friends like, see how much of a fucking bitch he was? And then they're going to be like, dude, you're an asshole.
Yeah, like I was like, I don't think that's fair to say that people you know, like I was
also,
like really confused.
I'm uncomfortable with any sort of question statement that starts with like, why do women, why do men? Like, what are you talking about? Not all of them. Like, why do men pee out their dicks is like almost a comfort. What?
Well,
what are you
and it was like
about?
the first, I don't remember. I wish I remembered what the first two were, because they weren't like weird. But they got like progressively kind of weirder.
Lull you into comfort.
Yeah, so I feel like the
shit.
first like two, like I don't remember them because they weren't anything like, you know, they weren't weird to me. And then he was like that. Why do you think all women let themselves go after marriage? And that's when I was kind of like, huh? So I tried to answer that one, and then he was like, do you think they're comfortable or they're just lazy? And that's when I was like, I don't think I want to talk to you anymore.
Who raised you?
Like, I was like, you're not a very nice person.
I hope that got on mic. I hope the last thing on that recording is you saying you're not a nice person.
You're not a nice person.
In such a sweet, nice voice too. Just
like
truly juxtapose it.
That's exactly how I said it. Like, oh, I'm sad for you. Like, you're not a nice person.
Yeah, it's like, did you know if he was married or not?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But I was like, I'm going to help people right now. Like, I have a great, like, industry, non-industry relationship. We're, you know, model couple. And, I was like, I'm going to help people right now with all my insight. And then really quickly, I was like, what is happening right now?
Well, why don't you tell me, you have IMDb bio that I found last night randomly. Searching around in it, and Erica and I were at a pizza shop last night, and she was like, yeah, I don't think any of this is right.
It is.
Oh, it is? Okay. or incomplete because you're not married to the first one, right?
Correct.
Right.
Okay, so somebody, maybe it was you, I don't know. Somebody tweeted me very recently.
That was me. Yeah.
Okay, saying that like mine was the only IMBD that says when I lost my virginity.
Yeah.
And I was like, does it really?
Yeah.
So I went on and I read it and I said, oh my God, it does. And so I read like a couple sentences and I was like, well, that's funny. And then I stopped reading. So I didn't read the whole thing. But I read the part, it said that I lost my virginity at 15. And then at 18, I married my high school sweetheart. Those are both true. I think my birthday was right. It says I grew up in San Diego. And then it said some stuff after that.
Sure.
I don't know what it said after that.
All right. Wait, so before we get to current husband, what happened with the high school sweetheart? He was your high school sweetheart.
He was a jackass.
High school sweethearts last forever. Don't we all know?
Oh, yeah. When you get married 6 months after high school graduation, it is bound to last forever. It's just destiny at that point.
Do you remember, can you remember what you were thinking in those moments where you thought, yeah, we should be married? We can't rent a car legally, but like we should get married now.
I don't think I was thinking.
Okay.
I don't. It wasn't a great relationship. It wasn't a good relationship at all. And like when we were getting divorced, I was like, he's such a douche. And my mom's like, yeah, it's that he's always been. You just never saw it.
I tried to tell you, clean your room and not to marry Josh.
Right.
But you didn't listen to either.
Right. Like she was like, that's why I told you, like, because no one wanted us to get married ever. But when you're 18, you know exactly what you were supposed to do.
Well, how long does that last? That marriage?
We got married in 2003 and we split up in 2006.
Okay. So almost a full presidential cycle.
We started dating in 2001, married in 2003, divorced split up in 2006.
Okay.
And then, you ready?
I'm so ready for this model of a husband.
Oh, no.
It's mostly
No.
I can take notes and try to mimic.
No. We're not there yet.
Oh.
Listen, I'm a serial marrier.
Don't tell me. Don't say it.
So then I got married in 2008.
We were all excited about Obama. I get it. No.
And then got divorced I got married in 2008 and we split up in 2011.
So who is this fella?
Oh, he's even worse.
Oh, how? Why?
I have not like I'm 2 for 2. Is that right? 2 for 3?
You're
I'm
1 for 3.
I'm 1 for 3.
Yeah.
The first 2, like I do not know how to pick a partner in life. They were just horrible to me. They cheated on me all the time. They were just mean boys.
Like the interviewer guy. It's like, I don't think you're a nice person.
No, they just weren't nice people.
Is that how you did the divorce? It's like, you know what? I don't think I want to marry you anymore. You're not a very nice person.
Just not a nice person. I don't want to be your wife anymore. So then I got married in 2014 to my jackpot of a husband.
Okay.
Yes.
And how'd you meet this one?
So we met through a mutual friend. I had a girlfriend in town visiting me, and she wanted to go out. And I was an old lady back then too. Like I don't go out.
Oh, we're gonna get to your old lady hobbies soon. I
know.
promise.
I don't go out. So I was like, I don't know where to go. So I texted a friend that I knew through husband number 2. And I said, he was in town visiting, and I said, my girlfriend and I want to go out. Where should we go? I have no idea. And he said, well, why don't you just come out with me and my friends? And my future husband was among the group, and he was just the funniest person I've ever met. Just the coolest, most confident, just cool. I don't know.
Come on.
How's
he cool?
He's the most confident human being I've ever met in my life. Like, he knows that he works, he knows how hard he works, and he's proud of it.
Okay.
He's accomplished a hell of a lot in his life.
Are you allowed to say what the profession is?
Probably not necessarily a profession, but he was.
I'm just painting a picture, man.
He was a Marine for 10 years. He did 3 combat tours.
Okay.
And then he finished his bachelor's degree in Afghanistan. And then he spent the next year taking a double master's schedule to finish his master's degree in a year.
Wow.
So he's like brilliantly smart.
And clearly a hard worker.
You know, he was a like really high like martial art, you know, level thing.
And he's a ninja?
He's a
And he's a
total
ninja. Wow.
Total ninja. Like
That's jackpot.
you know, and he's just fun and he's cool and you know, and he's always been cool. You know, I had shot 2 scenes when we met. So we've been together the whole time I've been in the industry. You know, but he's just like he's just a good guy.
How far into the relationship do you tell him what you just started doing? Or was that something that comes up at the bar?
No. So it was about a month. I was still my first agent convinced me that you look totally different. With like hair and makeup done, no one will ever know that it's you. Well, you know, I was 27, so it's very embarrassing to say I believed her. But I was still under the impression that like nobody would ever find out. And so I started talking to this guy, to my husband, my future husband, and what did I say? Oh, I said I sold Mary Kay Cosmetics. Which wasn't untrue. That was kind of my side hustle. So that's what he thought I did. And so for about a month, we hung out and went on really fun dates. And I would not sleep with him.
Okay.
Because I knew that I was in the industry. I wasn't ready to tell him. And I didn't think that it was fair to him to not know.
Even just for sex?
I mean, I liked him a lot, but I didn't think, it was just, I feel like you need to have all the information, before you can make a decision. And I didn't want him to not have all the, I didn't want to like feel like I was duping him.
Okay.
So I wouldn't sleep with him. So finally, after about a month, and we had gone on all these like just cool, great dates that we still talk about, he was like, I mean, is there like something wrong? Like, I really like you. And, I'm just wondering. And I was like, I have to tell you something. And
was it waterworks?
Oh my God. I was hysterically crying because I liked him so much.
What were you worried about?
I told him, I said, you're never going to talk to me again. I said, you're going to hate me. You're never going to talk to me again. And he was so sweet. And he like sat me down in his lap and like, and he was like, it's okay. Like, you can tell me. And I'm like, I do porn. And he was like, okay. And he was like, was that it? Like, he was genuinely like, wait, is that it? And I was like, like through sniffles, I'm like, yeah. And he was like, oh, okay. Like, he was like, I have absolutely no idea why you're so upset right now. Like, like he was just cool with it right away. He's like, I think it's cool that you're doing something that you love, that you enjoy. And
are y'all out in out on the West Coast during this?
We were in San Diego.
Okay.
Yeah. He's like, I think it's cool. And,
You think it's maybe a little more normalized out there? Like, you run into I feel like when you run into a hot chick in LA or in San Diego, you go like, oh, yeah, it's very possible they might do porn because that's, where it is.
I mean, I don't think, especially back then, like that, sitting there and talking to, sitting down and talking to me, I think would be the last thing you would ever, like I would strike you more nun-like than porn-like.
Really?
Yes.
Are you more sexually prudent outside of porn? Or were you when you were single?
Well, I mean, there was a lot of things that I have done in porn that I never would have ever done in life,
Sure, but I meant like, were you like not like a casual sex person?
No, I was. Okay. But I was not like having a conversation that you never would have thought. So, so if you knew me kind of superficially, you know what I mean? Like, you thought I was just this very sweet, manager at a pharmacy and,
hustling that makake on the side.
You know what I mean? Like, so that I'm sure his mind never would have gone there.
Huh.
And
what's that roller coaster of emotions from when you got to tell him to telling him to hearing him be like, it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's still crazy to me.
Yeah.
It's still, it's still weird because we joke that, but I think that I don't know how to explain it.
Why don't you try?
So, I do not believe in soulmates. Like, I don't think that's a thing.
Okay.
However.
Well, also the first two didn't work out. I feel like you start losing faith in the system.
You know what I mean?
For
Like,
you.
right. Like that first one, I really was sure. And then the second one, I was kind of like, meh.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't put anything in both our names. And then, you know what I mean? And then the third one, I was like, then the third one, we had, I'm not even kidding, from when we like started like officially dating, we had a joint bank account in 2 weeks. Well, no, we moved in together in 2 weeks. We had a joint bank account in 3. He was about to deploy. I had a power of attorney over all of his stuff within like a month. But it was just one of those, like, when kind of things. So I'm saying, like, that first one, I was confident. I was 18 and confident. Number 2, I was kind of like that. Number 3, I was like, and this is it.
When you say, like, when you know, what made this one, what you knew, like, right away first time seeing him, or like in the first month?
I wouldn't say the first time seeing, but I would say within the first like month.
Okay,
yeah.
so what made that
maybe
first
not
month,
even that long? Maybe like the first 2 weeks.
What made that first 2 week period different from the first 2 weeks with the other 2 ex-husbands?
The thought of it being more was not. It was the most comfortable, organic feeling. You know what I mean? Like, you when you meet somebody, you're like, can I see myself with them? And it was just like, yes, I can.
But what did you have with the other 2?
I think for one, one I was 17 when
that
we
one,
started
well, that
dating.
one we can all.
Yeah.
I think we all have an idea how
so
that
I
works.
I think for number 2, it was a lot more that number 1 had. Can I curse?
It's called the Man Horror Podcast.
Oh, fantastic!
You can say all the words.
Fantastic. So number 1 had fucked me up so bad, like mentally, from 17 to 21 or however long we were together, that number 2 was better. And, so that was like I was upgrading, and then I, and I dated a couple of guys, here and there between 2 and 3.
Unfortunately, you didn't marry all of them.
I did not. I did not. I mean, I'm not like, listen, J-Lo's been proposed to like 9 times. Technically, I've only been proposed to twice. Number 3 did not propose.
Did you propose?
No.
Oh,
it's
okay.
such a better story
I
than
got
that.
so excited for a moment. My dream is to be proposed to.
It's such a good story, though, I'll tell.
Okay.
But yeah, no one, like, he was, when we met, he was about to go to a training thing, for the military, and he was going to have to, it was like a weird thing, and he was going to have to move out of the room he was renting. And I was instantly like, well, why don't you just move your stuff into my place? And he was like, I would like to do that. Like, it wasn't scary at all. Like, that was the logical thing to do. It was like, well, you could get a storage unit, but, we really like each other. So it just seemed logical, and it wasn't scary at all.
Did you try to downplay it all? It's like, dude, it's just for convenience.
No.
You were just like, no, I know, and
yeah,
move your stuff in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's wild. Because like right now, so my youngest sister is about to move in with her boyfriend of like a little under a year, and like part of me is trying to be like, hey, let's remember like slowing things, keep things in perspective. But maybe she knows.
Well, and that's what, when I was going to get married at 18, my mom was always like, if you know that it's right now at 18, then it'll still be right at 21. That's what she would always say, is if you know that it's right now, then it will absolutely still be right then. But no, it just, it was just like, no, this makes sense.
Okay.
This makes sense.
Do you feel like the deployment accelerated the relationship faster than if he, say, wasn't about to go out?
I think...
Because, you know, like Texas, they'll be like, oh, we're going out. Let's get married so I can use your GI Bill or whatever, you know?
Yeah, no. I think it was good for us because, like I said, he was going... Gosh. Okay, so we met.
Okay.
2 weeks later, like for 2 weeks, we like chatted. Then we went on our first date, which is very memorable by itself.
What was the first date?
So
you look. I mean, look. I don't know if it's the hair and makeup or just being like general hot porn person, but like you look so. Like you look so in love talking about this.
Oh, I'm super in love.
Right, but you like
Yeah.
it's shining out of your face or it's the glitter. I'm not sure which, but like
I do have glitter on today.
But it does show. It's like it is really sweet. Like you know, I asked what was the first date, and you're like, I would love to tell you the first date.
Because we have so many good stories. Because we have so much fun. Like, you know, we're just really carefree, and you know what I mean. We have a good time. He picked me up, and he took me to see. He took me to this really nice Italian restaurant in San Diego, and then he took me to see Lisa Lampanelli.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, it was a great show. And then he had it planned to take me to this dessert place in San Diego. I want to say it's called Extraordinary Desserts or something like that. But it's like a dessert bar. And we're standing in line and we're kind of making small talk. And I was like, it's really hot, right? You know, and he's kind of like, I mean, it's, you know, whatever. It was like July, you know, it was July. And he was like, it's a little hot. And I was like, I think I need to sit down for a second. And the next thing I remember is thinking, like my eyes being closed and thinking, did I just fall asleep on this date? I passed out. I apparently, like, I've never in my life have I fainted before. But I said I was dizzy. I sat down in a chair. I apparently looked at him very blankly for a few seconds and then just was out. And I woke up to thinking I fell asleep and hearing people say, we need to put a spoon in her mouth because they thought I was having a seizure.
Oh.
And somebody like shoved a phone in my face with 911 on the phone. And
This is the first date.
Yeah. And so I guess people were like, we have to open her mouth. Can you put the spoon? And he was like, I barely know this girl.
I don't feel comfortable.
And so then like, I woke up and I was obviously super embarrassed. So he started to drive me home and he was like, I really feel like I should get you a Gatorade. So we pull over to a gas station and he's like, I feel like you need to hydrate right now. Like that seems important.
Yeah.
So, he bought me a Gatorade and then he took me home to my apartment and he sat there with me for like an hour and he was like, I don't want to leave. Like, I feel like you're going to die. So then he finally left and he called me first thing in the morning and he said, I have decided that you're going to the emergency room. And that we need to get this checked out. So now we always joke that our second date was spent at the ER. Because he picked me up the next morning and drove me to the emergency room and sat there with me while they did a EKG and made sure that I was like not having some sort of thing. I don't know.
Jesus.
So the joke is that he took my breath away on the first date. As
a comedian, I'm almost offended by that, but that works. It
whenever
works.
someone tells the story, if I'm telling the story, he'll be like, but what did I do, baby? And I'm like, you took my breath away, and that's why it's like fun, like he's just fun. Like we'll be telling the story and he's like, and what happened? Tell me what happened. Like he's just playful. So we have a good time.
So the douchebag dude was going to ask you about like, love and relationships in the industry. Mm-hmm. So you were all excited, be like, I've got thoughts, and then you didn't get to share them. So like, I guess what would you have wanted to share? What wisdom did you want to impart on this fake documentarian?
Oh my gosh, what a weirdo douchebag!
Which by the way, how weirdo douchebag? In the press room today, they were talking about some dude or this duo that they had to like look out for because they were so fake about being press that the guy could still see the tags on the camera that they clearly just bought to seem like press.
Oh my god.
It's like, what a fucking amateur.
Wow.
So what is it that you wanted to share? What was all this wisdom you've got?
So I feel like because for two reasons. One, because of what I was doing for work, and two, because he was about to deploy. We decided from the get-go that we needed to have, we call it completely open doors. Like, there are no closed doors in our house. Everything just, flows right through.
We're pooping in front of each other.
Well, so we actually don't. So that's not really a thing. It's a very hypothetical house.
Right.
It's an imaginative house.
Yeah.
It's a make-believe house.
The house of the relationship.
Yes. The invisible house has all open doors. So we have to be we have to communicate with each other all the time. We have to be very open with each other. But it's also made us so extremely confident in our relationship. And we've had, issues along the way. We've been married 6 years.
Okay.
There's been things, but every marriage, has.
What sort of things?
Just stuff.
Yeah, you can't expect to say such a line to me, not to ask.
No, I mean, just shit. Marriages go through shit.
Anything that maybe you think people could learn from? Because clearly you came out the other side. I wouldn't, if you were in the midst of it, I would be like, oh, don't, you're still working on it.
I think when someone stops, what we've decided is that when one of us stops communicating, that's when things start to get rocky. Mm-hmm. And, we kind of shut off from each other, and, we certainly don't put our marriage first. He gets really busy with work, and I get really busy crafting. And you know what I mean? And we go days without even talking to each other because we stopped communicating for whatever reason.
So it won't be because you're in a fight and you stop communicating, you just kind of
or
for
maybe,
a couple of days you guys forgot to sit down and chat.
Maybe he's been, he, especially right now, he's working a ton. Oh. And, for a while, I was having a really hard time with it because I'm used to him, for a long time. He had a very corporate job. So he went in at 9 and he came home at 6, and it was, and then he started this new thing that he's doing. And he's just he's working all the time. And I was very salty about it. I'm like, well, you want to hang out with me? What?
Gonna leave him with the cat?
What are you doing? Why aren't you, And he's like, I promise I'll be down in 5 minutes. And then it would turn into 30, and then it would turn to 45. And so then I started getting snippy with him, when he would finally come downstairs and be like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry it took me that long. And I'd be like, oh, I'm sure you are. I'm sure you're sorry that it took,
Oh, you're that type?
When I'm especially when I'm tired or hangry.
It's okay.
But yeah, because then I'm sad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's we start pulling away from each other, and we stop communicating with each other. Because we're just why would he want to talk to me when I'm giving him an attitude? And why would I want to talk to him when I feel like he doesn't want to hang out with? And it's just stupid marriage shit.
Well, over 6 years, how have you learned to get around and or resolve those types of conflicts? So
we actually have found out that if we are going through periods where we're at each other's throats, or even if we're going through just a general kind of marriage rough patch, whether it be finances or family or whatever, we actually need to almost attach ourselves at the hip. If we've been fighting for a couple of days, we'll be he'll be like, we need to go run errands. I'm like, I don't fucking want to run errands with you. And he's like, I don't want to run errands with you either, but we know that we need to. And by the end of the day, we're totally fine. We start to miss each other, and then we start to not like each other. So we can't miss each other too much. And even sometimes when we're in the same house, and I think it's this in every marriage, even when you're in the same house, sometimes you're still missing each other. You're ships passing in the night. You know what I mean? You're not hanging out. You're not having quality time. And you both want it. You're just not communicating it for whatever reason.
Okay.
That was a weird tangent.
No, I liked it. I love that it's we're gonna go do some mundane shit together and be like, oh yeah, I do love this person. Yeah, I love you too. Okay, we're all right.
And that's honestly that's what we need. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Even if it's there's been times that we're fighting, and he was like, do you want to go watch a movie in the hot tub? And I'm like,
Way to just drop. Oh yeah, hot tub. We have a hot tub. Oh yeah.
But he'll be because We have a whole little setup. There's a TV out there and everything, you know.
You're Brooklyn Chase. I'm sure you have a few hot tubs.
Listen, it's an inflatable hot tub for now.
Wait, is it rude to ask, so how many hot tubs do you have?
No, it's an inflatable hot tub because I said we were never going to use it. So he was like, well, what if I buy this inflatable one? And then like 2 days in, he was like, see, we use it all the time. Now we can get a real one.
I think there is like a tendency in like relationships when there's conflict to almost make it bigger than it needs to be.
I mean, even if we're, you know, just having like a fight, like, you know, it's not like a big thing. It's just like an argument. Like it always ends with, do you want to go watch TV? Yeah, I do want to go watch TV. You know, and then like we always end it even like that. Like even if it's just watching a show together, we know that we need to be like physically close to each other and like doing the same thing, you know, like whether it's running errands or watching a TV show or whatever. And then we're fine.
Yeah.
But it's like when we miss each other, we start to not like each other. Huh. And then we hang out and we're like, okay, I do love you. I forgot.
That's very sweet. What else makes your marriage such an ideal performer, non-performer marriage that others should strive to?
Well, I think...
I'm glad this guy fucked up the question because now I get to get it fresh.
Yeah. You know, we have... I wouldn't say we have an open marriage.
Okay.
But we have kind of weird boundaries. And the way, you know... He's like I said, he's funny. So the joke that he always makes is, he's like, I may bang other chicks, but I will only take the trash out for you. And that's like his way of being like, you know, like you're the only one I'm going to take care of.
Put
You're
that
the
in
only
the
one.
new ethical non-monogamy book. Yeah, I may bang other chicks, but I only take the trash out for you. Put it on a T-shirt.
You know what I mean?
Sell it on the OnlyFans.
Because like I know what that means in like him speak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it means that I'm the only one he's going to kill spiders for. I'm the only one whose like, car he's going to fix. I'm the only one who is going to do all of these things for because I'm his person. I mean, yeah, you might bang other them, but like...
Was there ever any trepidation on your part about having some sort of openness outside of your work?
In the very beginning, there was.
On your end? Or?
On my end. Because in my mind... You know, because we started dating immediately when I got in the industry. In my mind, it was still very much work. And, like, it was a job that I went to do, and it was kind of fun, but, like, it was different still. And for him wanting to have sex with somebody else, he just wanted to. And I was like, but I'm only having sex because I'm getting paid to.
Like you didn't have a desire to fuck other people outside the relationship?
Not at that point.
Offset, yeah.
Not at that point.
Okay.
You know, and I'm like, but why, like, why do you want to fuck other girls? Why aren't I enough for you? And he's like, really? You know, and then, but very quickly I realized like how much this man loves me. Yeah. And I realized that like, he's only going to take the trash out for me, you know? So why does it matter? Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah. Did that take you long to get over, or
not really?
Because that's like, that is such the most common thing when one partner goes to the other and requests some kind of non-monogamy. It's always like, "What am I not enough?"
Right.
And so,
I don't remember it lasting. I mean, it was a long time ago.
And he approached you for it. Or was it kind of when you guys are kind of formalizing the relationship, you know, when relationships are all vague and we don't actually know what it is we're doing, and it's like, are you boyfriend, are we girlfriend? Like, what are?
No, I don't think that he started. I'm trying to remember. I think we were married already by the time he started seeing other girls.
Well, by the time he asked to see other girls, or
I don't remember him like asking. Like I remember, like I almost remember me being like, I kind of feel like this is unfair, you know. And he was, but then when it happens, like I had a hard time with it. Like at least that first time, I remember having a hard time. But
what was the first time like? Like what's like? Are you at home and he's out like on a Tinder date or something? And are you at home stewing or what's?
Oh my God, no! I was at AVN.
I mean, if there's a time he would gonna.
Yeah. I was at AVN. Okay. And I remember being at a booth signing and like knowing that he had like met some chick at a bar. And I was like trying not to cry at the booth.
Oh no.
You know? And then afterwards, I was like, oh wait, this guy's crazy about me and I'm crazy about him.
Right, but he went off and did that with ever actually like trying to like ask permission or make
Oh no,
some sort of reason?
absolutely not. It was very much like are you okay with this?
Oh, okay.
I do not need to do this. Like if you're cool with it, I'm cool with it.
So what made you say yes when you weren't maybe 100%?
I think I don't really remember. Probably it was like because I do remember like being like this feels unfair. And I think I was like I feel like it's a lot more fair to him to be able, like, why should I be the only one that gets to have sex with other people? You know what I mean? Like I get the cake and to eat it, you know, and he just has to sit there and watch me. It was so long ago though.
That's fine. And well, so you alluded to like now you kind of both indulge, offset.
Yeah, you know, like you know, we still keep it to like you know, we don't do things without, well, that's not totally true. Well, I was gonna say we don't do things without the other one knowing. But sometimes it's like there was one day that I texted him and I said, like, I texted him a picture of me and this other guy and I was like, I'm at the hotel down the street from your work. Come here when you get off.
That's hot.
You know what I mean? Like, so stuff like that.
That's
sometimes.
fair because it's ultimately for the purpose of come here and do a hot thing.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but we both, you know, have our fun.
Do you guys have like parameters that you all negotiate, or is it pretty just do the thing?
You know, as long as we keep communicating, because we find out that whenever we stop just being completely open with each other is when we start not liking each other as much. You know, so he'll call me and he'll be like, I think I'm going to, you know, hook up this girl I saw on Tinder after work. And I'm like, all right, well, so I'm not making dinner tonight. You know what I mean? Like, you know, or I'm like, you know, he's like, what are you doing? And I said, oh, I'm at the mall. I'm buying like lingerie. I'm going to go see this guy, you know, tomorrow. And he's like, oh, sweet. You know, like.
Okay.
You know, but it's not something we do like 5 days a week. You know what I mean? It's like very kind of sporadic, which I think keeps it more fun.
Okay. Well, Brooklyn, thank you. Before you maybe fall asleep, you look so comfortable. I'm almost jealous. Where can people find you? This was really fun. Thanks for chatting with me.
Of course. So you can find me on Twitter at Brooklyn_Chase. Mm-hmm. You can find me on Instagram at Miss Brooklyn Chase. And you can go to chasingbrooklyn.com and that will take you straight to my OnlyFans. You like that, right?
I like that URL. That's a cute one. Say that again,
chasingbrooklyn.com.
Okay. Well, Brooklyn, thanks again for chatting with me. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend and with a minimal amount of douchebaggery.
Yeah.
Involved.
I'm like, what is this weirdo douchebag gonna do with this like thing that he recorded of me?
Probably beat off to it in his basement because no one's ever gonna look at it.
Because he's a psycho.
Yeah. He's a psycho who like I'm very concerned that like somebody dates him. You ever meet someone and be like, I hope no one is with you. I hope you're not subjecting someone to this.
Because if they are, I hope they have free, like, are not chained in a basement somewhere. You know? Like, sometimes people like, he was weird.
Yeah, I do not envy the amount of weird. I think porn stars, you all endure probably the most amount of weirdness that you don't deserve to encounter.
Well, and I think it's because, you know, unlike a, you know, celebrity, like if you love like Jennifer Aniston or whatever, you're probably never going to talk, like you can tweet her, but you're probably never going to talk to her.
Right.
Whereas someone in porn is such a smaller scale that, you know, a girl reasonably could reply to every tweet that she gets, you know, depending on how busy her account is.
Or you might get to meet her at like a convention and like speak for a minute.
So we're just a lot more accessible. Plus, because of just the nature of our business, it's being so intimate and, you know, people just feel like they know so much more about you. So it's like the level of weird can sometimes be, it can be obsessive, you know, sometimes. Or it can just be kind of creepy, you know, kind of creepy.
Well, with the amount of porn stars that have been on the show over the years, I hope my listeners now have a better idea at this point how to interact with y'all
Yes.
if they come to one of these conventions or see you in a coffee shop. And the short answer is don't approach.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let her enjoy her matcha.
Yeah.
All right, Brooklyn. Thanks again for talking to me. And why don't you say goodbye to everybody one more time?
Thank you so much. This was great. Thanks, everybody.
Oh, here's a fun little tidbit, everybody. Tomorrow, I've got a bonus episode with Brooklyn coming out exclusively for my $5 and up members on Patreon. We're hearing all about her crafting. Seriously, her publicist told me 3 or 4 times before I got to the room, hey, look, Brooklyn would love to talk with you about crafting. And, as a knitter myself, I was like very prepared to do that with her. And so we did 12 minutes or so just on her crafts. So that's a fun one. And it'll be available tomorrow, everybody. Of course, follow me on the socials. I'm on Twitter, ranting and raving and trying to still be funny at the Billy Presida. I'm on Instagram at Billy is Presida, sharing thirst traps and thoroughly updating my quarantine story with Megan.
Hi, guys.
So go follow me at Billy is Presida and go check out the Man Whore Podcast Facebook fan page. And you can participate in our Man Whore March Madness tournament to figure out what is the best Man Whore Podcast episode. The first round, we're still voting over on my Instagram story. So go over there. And if you want to send me an email with your comments, your questions, your struggles during this coronavirus-y period, you can send all that over to manwhorepod@gmail.com. And as a friendly reminder, everybody, again, ManwhoreCon 2020 weekend passes are going on sale at April 3rd, noon Eastern time. Scroll forward, just write COVID-19 on all the dates for like March and April and maybe May in your calendars, and then skip forward to August 20th and put ManwhoreCon New York City. I want to see y'all there if the government tells us it's safe to do so. Stay tuned and check out some of Megan and I's Corona Cast.
Corona Cast.
We're going to be dropping some extra content in the feed. I hope you all enjoy it very much. Stay safe, stay slutty.
I became a patron member of the Man Whore Podcast because obviously I liked Billy's podcast. One night I was honestly very stoned and had just gotten my tax return. I saw him post about his Patreon on Twitter, and so I joined. I have been in the Peep Show and the Facebook group, and both groups are very nice and have wonderful people. I'm very happy with my decision. Best $10 I ever spent.